Alright, and this is the East Ridge. Go that way, you head towards the shooting range. There's a lot of shooting going on, so we won't go that way. We'll head back down our property this direction. My goodness, this is all overgrown. And we've seen all kinds of animals out here. We've got deer out the wazoo. That's what we use it for mostly, is deer hunting. Been doing that for, we got this place in '97. So that's 23 years ago. My goodness. We've seen all sorts of birds. Saw a woodcock the other day. I'd never seen a woodcock before. Come up here with my daughter on the four-wheeler, and there's this little ground bird. Flutters about 6 inches off the ground, flies across. I thought maybe it was just a baby something. And get a little bit closer to it. It just sat there and stared at us, thinking, what the heck are these things? Long bill, short tail feathers, fat little body. Sure enough, it was a woodcock. All kinds of woodpeckers up here. Got armadillos, raccoons, possums, red squirrels, gray squirrels, mink. I ran over a mink. This was a year ago? Last year? Last year or the year before? It was on Valentine's Day. I'm heading to church, and I see something dart out across the road. It was dark. I thought it was a cat, but it would look kind of weird for a cat. And I felt it hit it. I was like, stink. So I stopped to see what's going on. I hate hurting animals and leaving them, or if it was somebody's pet, God forbid, you know, we're a small community. Would have been one of my friends. So I stopped and took a look, and by golly, it was a stinking mink. Oh, I had never even seen a mink in person before. And then this was this past fall, and almost the same exact spot where the mink was, we found a river otter that had gotten run over right there on Hurricane Creek. It was crazy. Oh. You never know what kind of animals are going to be in and around here. And things we're dealing with right now are coyotes. We've got trail cameras set up everywhere, and it seems like every time we see any kind of wildlife, we see a coyote or two coming in right behind them. A little bedding area right there. Oh, these leaves have been pushed down. Something was laying down, taking a nap. We've had foxes right up on the edge of our property. Well, in the middle of our property, right on the edge of the yard at the house. Luckily, none have discovered our chickens. Of course, they are pretty well protected in their run. And then we've had bobcats run right up on our porch. We caught them on camera. Our little front door camera and the side cameras. All kinds of critters we live with. So down that hill, pond should be right down there. We're gonna travel back around here. It'll loop back down around. We'll just kind of go down the hill right at the beginning of the field at Bush Hog Hollow. was sitting in between those trees one time, trying to do some muzzleloader hunting. Had an old, cheap muzzleloader my dad got me. This was back when I was probably 16, 17 years old. And wasn't a very good one. But it was kind of overcast and a little drizzly like it is today. And I was sitting there, freezing my butt off, waiting for something to come along. I swear, I had 3 deer come right up to me. I'll show you kind of how far they came up from behind me, this way. I was sitting here, watching this direction. They come up from behind me. One stood literally right there. I could have nearly put my gun barrel on the stupid thing. So I'm waiting for her to look away as I move. Whenever she looks my direction, I freeze, sit really still, hold my breath, wait for her to look away again. Slowly get my gun up. Didn't even have to look at the sights. I'm just like, from the hip, almost like, the barrel's literally like 3 inches away from her shoulder. Cock the thing back. She wakes up, or perks up, looks at me. I just freeze. She goes back and starts eating again, looks away. I pull the trigger. Pap! The gun doesn't go off. Just the percussion cap. So she spooks, jumps about 6 feet away. I'm like, stink. So I grab another percussion cap, slide it on there. Raise it up again. Pap! Gun doesn't go off. I'm so aggravated at this point. So this time she's kind of clued into what's going on. She runs down about 80, 90 yards away. And I'm just like, Hail Mary. Shoot again. The gun finally goes off. But of course I don't hit her. Open sights. Shaking like a leaf. Freaking out about it. So after that, my dad got me a good gun. Taking out a couple of deer with that one. Just recently got a new muzzleloader for Christmas. So we'll get that all squared away this year and get ready for hunting season come this fall. So here in Tennessee, we've got 3 major seasons. We've got archery, which comes first in the spring. We'll have some velvet deer hunts and things like that. That's usually when we'll take the time to go out there and scout around, see what their patterns are, see what they're up to. If we can get close enough to one, to take it, then absolutely we will. What's made it nice is that Tennessee's opened the regulations up on crossbows. So anybody can hunt with a crossbow now here in Tennessee. You don't have to have a special license or be disabled. So we can take a little bit further shots. It's a little bit easier to manage. And then after that is muzzleloader season, or primitive guns. It'll usually any kind of black powdered weapon you're allowed to hunt with. And then after that it opens up for gun. And usually the regulations are about, in Tennessee, you can take like 3 doe a day, and then I think there's either a 2 buck or a 3 buck limit for the entire season. So we'll see what this year's regulations hold. They're doing a really good job here in Tennessee of managing the population, getting bigger bucks, bigger deer. I remember when we first started, it was unusual to see an 8-point buck. I mean, that was a definite mount. You got that. Now it's unusual to not see an 8-point buck. And we've had a number of really good sized deer out here on the property. I took a 10-point couple years ago on Thanksgiving. That was a beautiful buck. Now we're heading back down the hill there in the field of Walnut or Bush Hog Hollow. You see game trails where the animals are coming through, following the same path. And then this is about the level where we see slate just kind of coming up out of the ground. That's how we built our patio and fire pit area. Ooh, buddy. Walking down these big old hills, just kind of step side-footed, dig the side of your foot into the ground, catch trees whenever you can. Usually works out pretty well. If you can follow game trails like this one, usually animals know safer paths to take. There's one right there. Just drop down to the next one, and they'll cut right across the center of this ridge. Just travel back and forth if they don't want to go down into the field. If they feel like something down there is going to get them, like me or my dad. It's awful pretty up here. If you didn't know where you're going, easy to get turned around now. Just gonna zigzag down this direction. All these old cedar saplings everywhere. And here we are, back to Bush Hog Hollow. Well, there you have it. That was the East Ridge in all its glory. Nice little walk. Got a little wet. That's okay. Got some exercise. I am feeling better. Something about being outside lifts my spirits. I was getting kind of cranky and ornery sitting in there at my computer. It's funny, my wife will see me getting frustrated with something or just cranky or aggravated at stupid things I shouldn't be aggravated with. She'll just tell me, go take a walk, go tractor something. It's amazing how God puts people in your life to balance you out. I don't know where I'd be without my wife today. I'd be some wild, crazy man. Probably living homeless in some tree somewhere. Trying to figure out why my next great idea isn't working. Alrighty, we're back at the house. We'll see you next time we're out here.